foremost magician, Harry Blackstone.
Gentlemen, and welcome to the Blackstone Magic Show. We're delighted that tonight's performance is being recorded for the home box office audience. And may we tell you at home that what you're going to see is exactly what those folks who are here in the Seattle Opera House will see as they see our performance. No trick photography, just an evening of tricks and illusions. Maestro, may we present a magical tribute to this great land of ours. Ladies and gentlemen, Magic for America. The flag of our country. And the flag of 76. Mister. Excuse me, fella. Huh. I don't recognize him. You know him? He's right. He's one of the local magicians. Oh, really? What's his name? Murphy? Merlin. Oh, I've heard that name. Where's he from? Camelot? Sounds like the rest of the town is here. I don't know about you folks, but I think he looked a little overdressed for the occasion. At this time, I would like to borrow a gentleman's handkerchief. In fact, I'd like to borrow a white handkerchief and one that's still folded, if you please. A gentleman's handkerchief, if you please. Piece of cloth about that square? Surely they use them in this town. They use them in others. A gentleman's handkerchief. Ah, there's one, sir. That's the best you have to offer? Oh, all right. Clean but unbowed. This is your handkerchief, sir. I mean, it's all paid for. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to investigate an age-old question with an age-old handkerchief. The question before us, sir, is when is a knot not a knot? And the answer? Well, who cares, really? You know how to tie a knot. You don't? Oh, you're just the man I'm looking for, then. Would you tie the ends together as tightly as you wish? After all, it is your handkerchief. Make a wonderful dust cloth when we finish. Would you tie the ends together, sir? Tie it tightly. Don't grunt, just pull. That's fine. You've just tied a knot, a magical knot, a mystical knot. In fact, this is a knot that will untie itself. Watch. You see what I mean? May I borrow the handkerchief a moment? I'll return. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to investigate the world of spirits, spooks, and goblins. Because I'm about to change this handkerchief, your handkerchief, sir, into a ghost. Into a real live ghost. A ghost with muscles. Watch. Watch. Killed it. You know, when you kill a spirit, the first thing you... A little dance music, maestro. You know, this little bunny is at this moment enjoying its debut in show business. Its very first performance right here in the Seattle Opera House, its debut. But it's not only its first performance, it's its last. Why? Because I'm going to give this rabbit away to one of the children in the audience. In fact, I'm going to give this rabbit to the first boy or girl in our audience that says, I. No, the first one that says, I. Who said I? Who said it first? Who said it last? Then you're out. No, it sounded to me like it was that young lady right back over there. You think so? Is it all right for her to have the rabbit? It is all right, sweetheart. Here's the rabbit for you. You can... Oh, you would take my rabbit, wouldn't you? Oh, you're one of those, are you?
No.
Oh, yes. I saw you reach up there. You think I'm going to just give it away to just anybody, but I won't give it away unless I get to know you a little better. However, I will promise you this, my dear. What is your first name?
Tracy.
Tracy? Tracy, that's the same name as my youngest daughter, Tracy. You're not... No, you're not. No. Well, Tracy, my love, it's nice to have met you. I give you this rabbit. Take good care of it. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you get any on you? Tell you what. You know, bunny toes can be very sharp. Perhaps it would be easier if you take it back to your seat if it's wrapped up a little bit or a piece of paper under it. That's fine. Michael, would you bring me out a piece of paper over here? And if you would, dear, you may take this back to your seat if you would. We'll wrap it up right here. Would you hold the corner of the paper right over there? No, that corner there on that side. I'll hold it on this side here. You take it right there, just like that. You have it? Hold it there. Don't let it drop on the floor. Thank you so much, Tracy. And watch your step on the... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you've done it. Oh, Tracy, I didn't think you would do that.
What?
What? Don't you realize what you just did? You don't. You just squeezed that rabbit.
I did not.
You did too. I saw you. You are a rabbit squeezer. Oh, yes, you are. Why, you just squeezed that rabbit so tight, it turned into a box of chocolate candies. Well, Tracy, my dear, that's the way it goes sometimes, but it's a mighty good box of candy. So I thank you very much for coming up and helping us out. And watch your step on the way down over there, my dear. Thank you so much. And be very careful. The steps are very, very steep. Thank you so much for coming up. Watch your step right over there, Tracy. Thank you, my dear, for coming up and helping. That's fine. I've been teasing you just a little bit there, and I apologize for teasing you, but I enjoy it so much with the youngsters. You see, I'm the father not only of another little girl named Tracy, but I have 4 children. My little Tracy, though, is just about your size. She is a little bit older than you are, though. She's 20. I'm going to tell you a story of once upon a time. Now, it's not that kind of once upon a time, but a real once upon a time. May I have the story lights on, if you please? And this time, the story lights, if you please. Thank you. And now may I have the story steps out, if you please, gentlemen. And we'll place the young lady here upon the story steps. Tracy, would you sit upon the story steps? Carefully. Tracy, may I introduce Michael, the story step pusher? That's fine. Watch him, he takes candy from young ladies. That's it. And so, Tracy, the story of once upon a time. Long years ago in a far-off land called America. North America. Seattle, North America. You ever hear of it? Yeah, good. Well, there came to that town one day a magician, a very handsome fellow.
And he called a most attractive young lady upon the stage to receive a bunny rabbit. And what do you think happened, Tracy? As she was about to leave the stage, that young lady in the story, she squeezed that rabbit so tight, it turned into a box of chocolate candies. And she looked back at the magician and said, "Where's my rabbit? All I've got is a dumb box of candy." So the magician said, "I'll tell you a story about that young lady." And he did. The story started once upon a time in a far-off land called... Oh, I told you that part. Then the magician reached down and got the paper that was there on the floor. Knowing that he should clean up, remembering that he'd been told if he would go to Seattle, he would clean up. Then the young lady sat upon the steps, and the magician said to her, "Move over a little bit and I'll sit down next to you." And she did. And as they were sitting there together, the magician took the piece of paper and rolled it into a ball. And as he did so, he said to her, "I'll make for you a paper rabbit. Would you like a paper mache rabbit?" You know what paper mache is? That's when you take paper like this and you mache it. Well, he began to make a paper mache rabbit, beginning with the tail of the rabbit. And he said to the young lady, This is the tail of a rabbit." Kind of a sad tale, isn't it? And then he began to make ears upon the rabbit. And as he did so, he said to the young lady, "Would you like long or short ears upon your rabbit?" And do you know what she said? Short. So he then made short ears. He made first one short ear, which he did like that. Then he made a second short ear, like that. Then he made a face and a body, until he found in the paper between the ears a real live bunny. And then, Tracy, since this was only a once-upon-a-time story, not to be confused with reality, the story had to come to an end. And our story came to an end when the magician asked the little girl to step down off of the story steps, which she did. And as she stood there holding the box of candy, the magician placed the rabbit upon the box of candy. She placed her hand upon the rabbit to keep it from falling on the floor. Then the story came to an end when the little girl took the box of candy and the bunny rabbit home, and they all lived happily ever after.
All right, Lucy. From this moment of fantasy and fun with young Tracy, may we change our tempo and pace and present a moment of supreme reality. Ladies and gentlemen, may we present the most sense-confounding problem upon the stage today. Ladies and gentlemen, the buzzsaw. Now, you have just seen this piece of wood cut in half as easily as a hot knife might cut through butter. Because this blade, this 36-inch solid steel lumber saw blade, is made of the finest, sharpest, tempered steel. And it is, as you can see, connected to this 20-horsepower motor. A motor capable of revolving the saw blade nearly 2,000 revolutions per minute. Therefore, anything or anyone placed beneath these whirling teeth will certainly suffer the same results that befell this piece of wood just a moment ago. Now, it is said that in the Himalaya Mountains, they use hypnotism in order to stop the flow of blood during surgical operations. Well, during this next operation of mine, I will use hypnotism as I am about to saw a lady in half with that blade. So help me. Now, may I suggest, in fact, may I insist that the weak of heart and the very young and impressionable not watch what is about to occur. Our piece of wood I place into this metal holder. And then, placing it underneath the lady, I want you to see what the saw does to it.
Who got shot?
He what? He shot the flowers.
We're about to recreate for you a production number that was first seen about 1934-35 season. It was the opening production number of my father's show. It's called The Enchanted Garden.
Question. How many of you here with us this evening believe that the phenomenon known as extrasensory perception is possible? How many of you here believe that ESP does in fact exist? May I see a show of hands? How many believe ESP does exist? May I assure you that I do believe extrasensory perception exists. And I don't mean to say I think it's something that I alone can do. It's something that each and every person in this theater has the ability to achieve, if you will. May I demonstrate by inviting a half dozen or so of the adult gentlemen to join me here on the stage for one rather unique experiment in nonverbal communication. The gentleman over there, Milton, a little go-getter music while they're coming up and how about you, sir? Come on up and have fun. Sure, come on. Nice looking. I think we have enough. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming up with such alacrity. Hello there. Would you like to come out a moment? What is your first name?
Bill.
Bill. All right, Bill, I give you the deck of playing cards, or most of them. Now then. Are you busy? Not too much. Would you stand over there next to Bill? We're gonna do a card trick now. Would you step forward right there, sir, onto that spot on the floor? Excuse me. No, you see that spot right there? See that spot on the floor? Did you do it? No. We're about to try what I call the fastest card trick in the world. During this, I'm going to invite this young man right here. Would you stand over here, please? I'm going to invite that gentleman to call out the name of a card, and the card you name will jump right out of the deck that Bill has just been mutilating. It will turn around in the air and go into the palm of my hand upside down. Now, as I say, it's the fastest trick in the world. It will happen faster than the eye can see. And the reason I've invited you gentlemen to step forward is that you will be the card holder, you'll be the umpire, and you, sir, will be our timekeeper. You follow what I mean? You follow what I mean?
Yes.
Stand right there, Bill, with the cards in the palm of your hand. Hold them at eye level, if you will, so that everybody may see this moment of wonder at eye level, if you will, please. My eye level, Bill. That's fine. Hold them very still and do not, under any circumstances, move the hand, unless, of course, we're all asked to evacuate the building. All right, now, into the palm of my hand. Name any card you wish. Out loud. Name it.
Ace of Hearts.
Wrong. No, Ace of Hearts is the one you want. That's the one we'll use. Right into the palm of my hand. Let's see how long it takes. Time me. See how long it takes to find the Ace of Hearts. Look at your watch. A little drum roll. If you... Wait a minute. What's the matter? What's the problem? Wait a minute. What do you mean?
One of the dirty...
You don't have a watch. Would you know it? The only guy in the room without a watch. I pick him for a timekeeper. I just picked a timekeeper without a watch. You what?
Had one.
You had one? What do you mean you had one? You had one when?
I had one sitting in that line.
You had one standing in that line?
Yes.
You... Don't let anybody out of the exit signs back there. He's lost his watch. Turns out he lost it. Maybe you put it in your pocket when you were washing your hands. Huh? No, you don't wash your hands. Huh? I see. All right, well, check in your side pocket. Look way down on the side there. Can't seem to find his watch anywhere. Not there either? Oh, that's too bad. I'll tell you what. Look in your back pocket there. See if you can find it there in the back. Not there? Well, wait a minute. Can't find it anywhere. I'll tell you what, my friend, I always carry an extra watch with me in just such an emergency. It happens to be a very handsome watch. This is a... I've never seen one of these before. It's a one-jewel watch. What is your first name? Paul. Well, it must be yours. And inscription right here on the back. Was this a gift? I see. Well, inscription right here. It says, "To Paul, with love, from all the guys." Paul turns out to be kinky. Paul, now that we know about you, take that, wear it in good health. That, oh, I'm sorry, no, it's stuck to your fingers there. Paul, you know, you've been a good sport to put up with this. Well, may I ask you, sir, are you a drinking man?
Partially.
Well, partially, I don't mean all the time. I mean on auspicious occasions, like sundown. Yes. Well, whenever anybody's been as nice as you've been to come up and put up with this foolishness, we'd like for them to go home and have a little belt on the house, and I found that one around your waist. See,
I got that from you just a moment after I got your keys out of your pocket right over there, which was shortly after I got your wallet out of your back pocket. You've been kind of a tough season, hasn't it, Paul? Really? Do they know? No one knows? Oh, gee. In all the years I've done this, the first time I ever dipped a narc. Well, that'll blow your cover. Turns out to be a cop. Well, Paul, my friend, I hope you don't mind. It was all done in fun. If you'll step back there, that's what we call the fastest card trick in the world. You didn't even see it, did you, Bill? Well, you step back on line while the deafening applause subsides. Sir, excuse me, before you leave, what is your name? John? Oh, Don. Don, come here a second. I thought you might like to have this. There's your necktie. He doesn't have to go to Las Vegas to lose his shirt. To join us in a circus of mysteries. Maestro, if you please. Ladies and gentlemen, may we present Misty, 6,500 pounds of pachydermic prestidigitation, an animal with an amazing sense of balance. Watch her balance on any 2 feet. No, the other 2 feet, Misty. No, the other 2. There we go. A nice hand for Misty. Now, as Misty steps down and says hello to all of our friends, Misty, I would like you to step forward, my dear. Just step forward. Now, sit down upon the bench. Sit down upon that tiny pedestal. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Fess Reynolds with Misty. And a nice bow. How about that? Thank you, Misty. And now, ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, we continue in the center ring of our magical circus, may we present the greatest trick on earth. Part of our circus performance, I would like to once again present this young lady whom you've met on several occasions. As you step into the audience, my dear, I would like one of the gentlemen, perhaps the gentleman on the end of the second row right there, sir. Would you mind standing a moment and look at this young lady? Look at her and tell me, sir, would you recognize her if you ever saw her again? You think so? Have you ever seen or spoken to this young lady before this moment? You'd rather not answer, I see. Do you have a personal item that you would loan her for a moment or two? A personal item that will serve as a means of identification? Perhaps a set of keys, house keys, car keys, something of that type. Something that is unquestionably yours. She will, more than likely, return them. However, may I ask you to sit down? That way, in the event he does not recognize her, he will, of course, recognize his own set of keys, if he ever sees them again. Now, ladies and gentlemen, watch the greatest trick on earth. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just seen the young lady placed into the muzzle of this cannon, along with several pounds of gunpowder and your set of keys. Suspended above our heads, high there in the air, is a circus trunk, a brightly colored circus trunk that has been there since we began our performance. Now, she is in the cannon, the trunk is overhead. Watch a possible impossibility. And ladies and gentlemen, the cannon is empty. Now watch the trunk. Please stand to receive your keys, sir. Are those the very same keys you gave her a moment ago? The same ones. Therefore, that is the same young lady on a trip through space, the greatest trip on Earth. And thank you.
Get off of this stage. No, hey, come here.
With me tonight, you here in the studio and everyone at home live, because tonight I'm going to take you on a magical journey through time. This tiny trunk contains all the magic of the past. And since we'll be going to many places, I like to travel light, but this is ridiculous. More like it. As you might have guessed, this is a magical trunk. It contains all the things we will need to travel back into history, but it's really not that much fun going alone, so what I need is a very special traveling companion.
Hi, Doug.
It's Brooke Shields! Shields, I haven't seen you since you came backstage. I think I was doing the magic show on Broadway then, right?
That's right, yes. I can still remember you on stage with that beautiful mountain lion. That's when I had my first childhood crush.
On me?
On the mountain lion. I loved animals. Even back then when I was 9 years old.
How long ago was that?
Ages ago.
Well, I'm really glad you could be back with me today because we're going to do some very special things. I don't have a mountain lion, but I do have 4 very large, ferocious tigers. Will that be all right?
That'll be fine.
Great. For the next hour, I'm going to take you on a magical journey through time and show you what magic was really like down through the ages. And I thought we'd start way back in ancient times.
You mean the 1950s?
We'll go a little further back than that, that's for sure. We'll be making 3 important stops on our journey tonight. And the first stop will be ancient China, the land for making fine silk. Oh, my assistant, the silk scarves, please.
Here.
Well, thank you.
Listen, Doug, Fonzie asked me if he could have those scarves when you're through with them. He said they'd make great grease rags.
Hey, you're Tom Bosley, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
I tune in every week just to watch you on Happy Days.
Oh, really? That's funny. I thought I was the only one who did that.
Tom, it's so great to have such a fine actor like you on the show. Thank you for dropping by.
Well, thank you. You see, I'm really here for a couple of reasons. One is that I wanted to get the feeling of what it was like to do live television again, and this is live, isn't it?
Absolutely. What's the other reason?
Well, I heard you were going to get into a cage with 4 full-grown ferocious tigers. Is that true?
Afraid so. It's very true.
Well, I just wanted to tell all my good friends in Detroit that tonight I'm not rooting for the Tigers.
I'm sure. They'll understand.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you later, Doug. You too, bro.
Thanks, Tom. See you later. Now for your first lesson in magic. Let's get back to ancient China and the fine silk. An illusion with a silk. And you folks at home can get your silk handkerchiefs out and do it along with me. Do exactly what I do and you'll do some magic. Good. Maybe some moths got in there with the silkworms. I don't know. Anything can happen live. We'll get back to China in a little while, but now I'd like to show you what to expect when we go to our next stop in medieval England. You know what medieval magicians were famous for?
Clear glass bowls and wooden poles.
Not really. Skilled magicians in medieval times were troubadours and jugglers, and used to balance things at will. They didn't just magish. Everyone knows water evaporates, even in medieval England. But now I'm going to take you to a place where water evaporates even faster. The final and simply the most amazing stop on our journey, ancient Egypt. Brooke, I'd like you to just imagine that we're walking on the hot sands of the Sahara. The sun has been beating down upon us all day, and suddenly you see a vision.
I see it. It looks like an empty box with its sides folded down.
You must be out in the sun too long. What you really think is just an empty box is actually a mirage. Watch closely. Something to see. Stay with us, folks, and prepare to be amazed and astounded with some very extra special illusions for you that have never been performed before. It's going to be a very magical evening.
Doug Henning's World of Magic, starring Doug Henning. Guest star, Brooke Shields. And special guest star, Tom Bosley. Doug Henning's World of Magic, sponsored by Timex. It takes a licking and keeps on ticking. More people buy Timex than any other watch in the world.
This is John Cameron Swayze for Timex. Over the years, you've seen Timex take a licking and keep on ticking. But how will Timex Marlin stand up to the full weight of an elephant? This ponderous pachyderm packs 4 crushing tons. Ouch! Dave, can you get that watch? What time is it?
Time to get a new Timex.
Well, it worked in rehearsal.
70% of all cavities happen in back teeth and between teeth, where a toothbrush often misses. New Fluorogard dental rinse can help. Fluoride in a liquid. Say this picket fence is your teeth. Brushing the front is easy, but 70% of all cavities happen back here and in between. Fluorogard floods teeth with fluoride, reaches places brushing might miss. After brushing, rinse with good-tasting Fluorogard. Puts cavity-fighting fluoride where the danger is.
Look, a whole different angle on hair.
Hot stuff.
Clairol's Hot Stuff, the 1200-watt styler that works like a gun. Plus, it lets you angle the power wherever you want it. And look, a full round styling brush for a one-handed flip or shaping up fast.
Hot stuff.
A whole different angle on hair. Clairol's Hot Stuff, the styler that works like a gun.
Well, Brooke, how do you feel about the magic so far?
Oh, I love it. It's so much fun.
Well, it is fun, but that's only one part of magic. Down through the ages, magic has been used to inspire people to delve deeper into the mysteries of creation.
But it's still a lot of fun, right?
Oh, absolutely. And you know, the real fun part comes in not trying to figure out how all the illusions are done, but in just kind of feeling the wonder.
Well, I tell you, I don't know how you produced a camel out of thin air. But any man that can do that can produce a wardrobe for me, for our journey through time. I haven't a thing to wear.
Well, that's one thing that hasn't changed at all down through the ages, that's for sure. But no problem. Everything we need is right here in our magical trunk. And your passport is your imagination. Let's prepare for the first stop, ancient China.
Hi there, it's me again. Listen, did I hear someone mention China? Huh? Can I go along with you? I'm just crazy about Chinese food. Besides, it's getting so lonesome here in my dressing room.
I'm sorry, Tom, but this is only a 2-seater trunk.
So, get rid of the kid. Listen, I'm much better company, and you know I can introduce you to the fans.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Well, it's tempting, but I'm afraid not.
Okay, but you haven't seen the last of me.
I have a feeling we never should have opened that trunk. But since we did, let's get ready for our first stop on our journey, ancient China. And you have a beautiful, I guess that's a purple robe to put on in ancient China. You know, Brooke, the scariest part of this journey for me is that it's actually happening live right now. You know, there's the same time we're doing these, putting this makeup on, the audience at home is seeing it at exactly the same time. That means we only have one chance to shoot everything. All crazy things that happen up here are seen right at the right time. We never use any camera tricks or trick photography or anything like that. See if we can get these straight. Good. And another thing that is interesting about doing it live is we use these handheld cameras. They come in and around, and they see the illusions from all angles, and it really makes it much more magical.
Well, you know, I have great faith in you, because I know you can do anything you put your mind to.
Well, that's very encouraging, but, you know, I would get a bit worried when I think about the end of the show with those ferocious tigers. You never know what the tigers are going to do. Okay, now we're all set to go, and all this talk reminds me of an ancient legend. It's a Chinese legend. Did you know that in ancient China they use magic to tell the story of their legends?
You mean like fairy tales?
Well, it's sort of, but it's a bit more elaborate. They use dance and music, and they put it all together with the magic, kind of the ballet of magic. It looks like that.
Ooh.
And like the story of the great emperor. Have you heard of Genji Li? Genji Li was a very powerful ruler and a great warrior. But the one person who could melt his heart was his beautiful young daughter, Princess Mei Ling. She was the apple of his eye, or as they used to say in those days, the kumquat of his eye. But there was one thing about the princess that saddened the emperor's heart beyond measure. She never smiled. This affliction so disturbed the emperor that he was moved to offer her hand in marriage to anyone who could make her smile. When word got out, suitors came from every corner of the country. There were acrobats, dancers, mimes, princes, and peasants from all over the world. They all tried their best, and they all failed. And when they failed, the emperor struck the ceremonial gong twice. Twice. The suitors were banished from the kingdom forever. Then one day, so the legend goes, a young magician came to the palace. His name was Ling Far Chang, and his sole purpose was to try to make this princess smile and win her heart.
amazing. The gong's gong, the gang's all here, and the gal's got the giggles. So you've got nothing to fear.
I just love rhyming happy endings.
Well, it could be verse. Come on now, what do you say we go for some Chinese food, huh?
Okay, the egg rolls are on me. Let's go.
We were on a float trip down the beautiful Buffalo River in northern Arkansas. We overturned the canoe about the first mile. I went underwater. My Timex quartz went right on ticking. To make a long story short, halfway down the river, the canoe lodged on some rocks. My eye caught the glimmer of something shiny. I reached down and picked up a Timex watch, still running, with the correct time, day, and date. Today, both are good as new.
Timex, it takes a licking and keeps on ticking.
Fiber. Now you can get it in a delicious hot cereal that's quick and easy to make. New instant Quaker oatmeal with bran and raisins. It's a warm and welcome change from cold bran cereals. A warm and delicious taste change, too. Because bran gives oatmeal an extra nutty flavor and hearty texture. And there's lots of plump, sweet raisins. Fiber doesn't have to be cold. Now you can get it in a delicious hot cereal. Instant oatmeal with bran and raisins. New from Quaker.
Making those 7-Up plans with all those friends and that fun. Won't be a doubt about running out, cause you got yourself two. Instead of one, do a double take. Double up on 7.
Now's the time for holiday fun, so pick up 2 instead of 1 and do a 7-Up double take.
Do a double take. Double up on 7-Up. 7-Up.
Arnold is charged with keeping his goldfish in the tub and must stand trial.
No, sir, I'm not guilty, and get the pictures.
Different strokes than Who's Watching the Kids Friday.
On Capra. Mind your own business, or you might wind up with a real bad accident.
It's the Eddie Capra Mysteries following Different Strokes and Who's Watching the Kids Friday.
Doug Henning's World of Magic will continue in a moment.
And Julie Harris in a touching Christmas story.
Are you Santa Claus?
Stubby Pringle's Christmas, then The Winds of Kitty Hawk, Sunday.
I didn't know he was a cop.
Beautiful car thieves steal Pancho's car. They'll do anything to keep from getting caught. Pancho will risk anything to get it back on Chips, Saturday.
Hi, I'm Harvey Lampert, and I have something to show you. When it comes to stereo equipment, my pledge to you is I will not be undersold. This Pioneer receiver is only $184. You get the receiver, the 5-year warranty, and my guarantee that if you can buy for less, I'll pay the difference. And we got a whole warehouse of values you just won't believe. Like the sign says, I won't be undersold. And that's a statement I can stand behind.
WRET, TV 36, Charlotte.
Well, Brooke, how do you like our little feast of Chinese magic?
Oh, it was wonderful. But for some reason, I'm already hungry for more of it.
You know, that happens sometimes. But we've got not that much time and some incredible wonders to see. Milady, hast thou ever been to merry old England?
No, I hasn't.
Wouldst thou care to?
If I couldst.
You couldst and you shouldst. What's that stuff? Medieval smog? Woo! We would like to go, then goods. I shall transport you back to medieval times. I see now it's just medieval mud for your waif-like face. We're going back to a delightful fair in the Renaissance. You'll be a street waif, and I will be a roaming troubadour.
Is that going to be where all the 4 ferocious tigers are going to be hanging out?
Oh, that comes in a later part of the show. Methinks not right now, but I'm going to show you something that will actually knock thy doublets off, whatever those are.
Doublets? Lead on, McDoug.
Yea, verily, my little waif. we should have some companionship to eat our apple and to occupy ourselves whilst I am doing my legerdemain. Let us go out and find two people of noble stature. Hi, are you of noble stature? Thank you. Come on up here. Hi, you can come first. Well, welcome to the fair, my good people. I am Malaprop, the magician. You have no doubt heard of me before?
Not before nor since.
Methinks my reputation seemeth to be hanging by a thread. So with a thread, I shall make my reputation. I have in my hand a piece of white thread, sort of skinny rope. I will now render it asunder. Young waif, would you please hold out thine's hand? Perhaps thou art wondering how I became a troubadour. The question sometimes does come up. Here's how it happened. Once I was wandering through the streets and a gypsy woman beckoned to me. She said, "Son, I have in my hand 1, 2, 3 knaves and the ace of spades. All thou must do, young man, is keep thine eye on the ace of spades." She tooketh the ace and putteth it between the 2 knaves, saying, "Keep your eye on the ace." Then she tucketh one of the cards underneath, the other card underneath, and finally the last card underneath the other 2. And she saith to me, "Son, where is the ace? I will bet you 10 pennies that thou cannot find the ace." I was positive it was right there. Besides, I wanted to make some bread, so I pointed right there. She looked at me and said, "Son, thou art wrong. You're not paying attention. What I really have is 1, 2, 3 jacks. And this is the card that thou must watch." I was amazed, and I suggested that she do it again, this time with the cards faceth up. She tooketh the ace and putteth it right down betwixt the 2 knaves. And then she pulleth it out again and putteth it on top, a move to misdirect my attention. Then she tooketh one of the cards and putteth it underneath, then the other card underneath the other 2. And she saith to me, "Son, where's the ace?" Again, I was positive it was in the middle. And I wagered 50 pennies. It's a lot. That it was right between the 2 knaves. She saith to me, "Son, you're not paying attention. What I really have is 1, 2, 3 jacks. And this is a card that thou must watch." It looks like I am in trouble, but I have a plan. She taketh the ace and putteth it right down between the 2 knaves and say, "Keep thine eye on the ace." And then she slowly counted the cards from one hand to the other. Now, I 'twas positive the ace was right betwixt the 2 knaves. But I was not going to be fooled this time. I pointed it over here, and I wager my whole purse my life savings. Odds bodkins, I was wrong. She saith, son, I gave thy every chance in the world this time. Woo! Hey! Really getting warmed up now, folks. Having learned an expensive lesson, I was forced to fight fire with fire and use playing cards to make my living. We have 52 little assistants here, all completely different, with their own personality. Young lady, would you like to help me count the cards? Before we start, what is thy name?
Susan.
Susan. Tonight we dubbeth thee Lady Susan of the funny hat. Susan, help me count them. Ready now. 10, 20, 30, 40, 51, 52. Did you get 52? Say yes.
Yes.
Good. They're all there, but each one of these cards seemeth so anxious to serve me that it hops right out of the packet. And most of the time, they come right back. And one for Ricky J. Now, my young lady, wouldst thou render me the service of selecting one of these cards and pulleth it from its resting place? Say stop anywhere thine wants to. Stop. Right there. Good. Now look at this card. Taketh it out, s'il vous plaît. Good. Now I am going to tear the corner from the card so that thou will always remember this card. Hold at the corner there and hold this one for a tiny momenta. Good. Now putteth the card right there and we will shuffle the cards, mixing them up, making it verily impossible to findeth your card. Now if I was in any other circumstances right now, I would use this glass to have wine to quench my thirst. But tonight, we are using the glass for loftier pursuits. I drop the deck into the glass, and with my trusty sword, I'm going to have more than wine flow from this glass. Rise up, I command thee, obedient pasteboards! Woo! From the bottom of my deck. Did you write that line? No. I have a feeling right now of a small tinge of creativity welling up inside of me. Wouldst thou come and care to witness while I create the world's smallest magician? And thou mayest help me by introducing the tiny fellow.
And now, my lords and my ladies, direct from the Royal Court of Small Claims, a short exhibition by the tiny Prince of Press, Sir Tiny Tom of Bosley.
lords and miladies, a display of digital dexterity designed to delight, dazzle, and disarm. No, disarm. I have spent many years of practice and self-denial training my left index finger to perform 2 astounding feats. The first is an illusion of magic. Now watch closely. The second is a feat of great physical strength. But before I proceed, I must first limber up my digit. And now, watch the in disbelief as I stand on 1 finger. Just kidding. Now, watch. And now for my grand finale, I shall now putteth myself in a trance and perchance levitate myself to heights never before dreamed of. Listen, I would like to thank thee for having a hand in my act.
And I like to thank thee for having a foot in mine.
Yes, thou art welcome, but by the by, hast thou perchance seen any sign of ferocious tigers in this vicinity?
Nary a one. They cometh in the next portion of the show.
Good. In that caseth, when they cometh, I goeth.
I'm Jim McKay for Timex. The most extraordinary thing about this quartz digital watch is not that it tells you the time all the time, night and day. Not that it's 99.997% accurate. Not that it costs only $32.95. No, the most extraordinary thing is it's a Timex.
Helen, what did you do to Bert while we were on vacation? Look, he's not eating his dry food.
He may never go back to dry.
What else is there?
New Purina, moist and chunky.
Purina, moist and chunky?
Unlike dry, moist and chunky dog food has moist, meaty-tasting chunks dogs love. You can even slice it.
Bert, you're sure you won't go back to dry?
Nutritious Purina dog chow, moist and chunky. One try and your dog may never go back to dry.
Why are we so excited about our new Cross Your Heart bra? It's Playtech's newest way to cross over to a better figure. We combine the Playtex Cross Your Heart design, the crosses over, lifts, and separates.
With this absorbent, cool cotton knit.
These soft, stretchable cotton sides make it so comfortable.
I love how it feels and what it does for my figure.
Try our new Cross Your Heart cotton soft cider bra.
And cross over to a better figure.
Sunday, Beau Bridges and Julie Harris in a touching Christmas story.
Are you Santa Claus?
A holiday special, Stubby Pringle's Christmas. Then the Wright brothers, 2 bicycle salesmen who looked to the skies and changed history in The Winds of Kitty Hawk.
Oh, I think she'll do, War.
Absolutely. She'll kill both of us.
Theirs is a story of triumph and betrayal.
I know you have the courage of a thief.
Stubby Pringle's Christmas, then The Winds of Kitty Hawk, Sunday on NBC.
Well, Brooke, how did you like merry old England?
Oh, it was fun, but now I'm ready to move on to ancient Egypt and all the excitement you promised.
Well, you're dressed for it, really, and when you're doing a live show like this, I always try to save the best for last, and that way I live to do the rest of the show.
Oh, good, because in case you hadn't noticed, you said earlier you would be facing 4 ferocious tigers this evening.
I seem to remember saying something like that.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, they didn't show up in ancient China or in medieval England.
Not that I noticed.
Which means?
Well, I was just thinking maybe you'd like to go to some place like Disneyland or New Jersey or something instead of ancient Egypt.
Come on, Doug, I really want to go to ancient Egypt. And besides, I've already got my hair done.
Well, it looks great. And I was only kidding because ancient Egypt was really fascinating. It had one of the most advanced and intriguing civilizations in the world. And we have some advanced and intriguing eyebrows for each of us here. Great. But, you know, it wasn't all that much fun unless you happened to be a high priest or a queen or a pharaoh or something like that. And even for them, life could get a little complicated.
Well, still.
There we go.
Much better than lugging stones to build those pyramids with.
That's for sure. But look at it this way. The priest, although he was very powerful and was a great magician and could do amazing things, was still under the rule of the pharaoh.
Oh, the pharaoh had the best job of all of them.
Well, not really. The pharaoh was all-powerful, but he was afraid of the priest who could turn the people against him with his magic.
Okay, let's get to the good part. Tell me about the queen.
Well, the queen was young and beautiful and full of questions, just like you. And she wanted to learn the secrets of life from the high priest, but she also felt a loyalty towards her husband, the pharaoh.
What's a girl to do?
The plot thickens. Follow me, and we shall find out together as we relive the tale told in ancient scrolls of Egypt. The Nile, that the innocent young queen came to the high priest in secret to be initiated into the magic of life. Let the initiation begin. The first lesson is that reality goes far beyond what the senses can perceive and what the mind can comprehend. The hidden nature of life is as infinite as the grains of sand in the desert. But just when you think you have something secret in the palm of your hand, it's gone. Only to appear somewhere else.
Can you teach me these secrets?
One cannot learn by watching. One must learn by doing. Centuries from now, men will look with wonder upon the Pharaoh's pyramids and try to imagine how they were constructed. But we do not wonder how they were constructed, we know. They were constructed by doing and not by watching. And now it is a time for you to learn the secret of the pyramids, to journey through time and space, but to do it from the inside out.
this is how you repay my kindness for making you a queen, huh?
I would do nothing to dishonor you, my master.
She has come to me to learn the secrets of nature and the universe and nothing else.
Before the noble statue of my ancestors, you shall die. I don't believe in your power, and the price of my disbelief shall be your life. Guards, take them away. Make sure the cage is secured. Now, raise the cage. See that the queen is tied to the post. Release the beasts. And now, as I lower you into the den and remove your protective cage, you shall let my pets have the tasty pleasure of your company. Behold, you are now trapped in the center of a tiger's den, from which there is no escape. Gaze upon your fate, magician. 4 hungry tigers are awaiting anxiously to devour you.
I do not fear your tigers, for I'm cloaked in the magic of invincibility.
No magic on earth can protect you now. But why so quiet, magician, huh? Does the cat have your tongue? Well, if not now, they soon will. But I grow impatient for vengeance, and my tigers grow impatient for their dinner. Raise the cage!
Great shampoo.
Really clean.
Looks full.
Holds my set.
New beer-enriched Body on Tap shampoo.
Gives your hair super body.
Super hold.
Brewed with 1/3 real beer.
Wow.
But don't drink it.
Just shampoo. Whether I blow it,
roll it,
brush it,
style it.
Sure feels full.
Really holds my set.
It's the beer shampoo that does it. New Body on Tap in 3 bodybuilding formulas.
That's body. On tap.
The smile on your face is there because you know that your mouth tastes great. And you know that your breath is fresh because the clean in your mouth is Colgate.
Colgate's zingy taste is rated #1 among fluorides by parents. And Colgate has MFP fluoride. It's unbeaten for fighting cavities. Fresh mouth and fluoride. That's Colgate.
The clean in your mouth is Colgate.
The Colgate Masters. Watch it. The battle for #1 in men's tennis, January 13th and 14th.
Wow. I've got a Timex just like that. Ask me the time.
What time is it?
20 minutes after 8.
And remember, son, that's not a toy. It's a Timex. Timex, the right watch to grow up with.
Doug Henning's World of Magic, sponsored by Timex. The gift that takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Timex wishes you a happy holiday.
Sure glad there's no fire in here. Or out here. I worry about fires this time of year. What with all this ribbon and wrapping paper and boxes around. Don't ever throw any of this stuff on the fireplace. Throw it away. And your tree. Be sure and check the lights and keep it watered, too, because a dried out tree can go up in flames quicker than you can say ho, ho, ho. So, have a happy holiday. Ho, ho, ho.
Kelly Blixton changed her life by going to technical school. What about you? Write to Careers, Box 111, Washington, D.C. 20044.
Doug, I can't believe you got out of that cage of tigers without one scratch. How'd you do it?
In the world of magic, nothing is impossible. But you know, a wise magician once said, one does not learn by watching, but by doing.
Yeah, well, in that case, I'm never going to learn that tiger trick. But one thing I did learn, never to share a dressing room with a camel.
That's good advice. I really hope that both of you enjoyed the show. You've been wonderful. Thank you very much for coming along.
It was the most fun I've ever had. I just wish I could take some of it home with me.
Well, you can, because this is a very special gift for you. It contains some wonderful surprises.
It's inside. It's empty.
No, it's not empty. It's really full of all possibilities. In order to create from this trunk, all you must do is use your imagination. And we'll use it now so we can put it together right here. There we go. Okay, just use your imagination and anything is possible. In fact, look at this. And I can make that real if you imagine a little bit harder. Look. Hello there. Thank you, Brooke. You've been wonderful in the show. And for Tom, we have a very funny little friend. Thank you.
Just like me. Thank you.
I'd like to thank my four wonderful dancers, Tom, Helen, Nancy, Yako, and Mark. Thank you all very much. It's been wonderful. There. Oh, my goodness. You can take this home and share it. And I'd like to thank all of you at home for being with me tonight and for sharing in my magical journey through time. This evening we discovered the special magic of times past, but really every moment contains all possibilities. Live your life and enjoy the magic. Good night, and may all your moments be filled with magic.
Good evening. In the news tonight, 10 cars of a Seaboard Coastline train went off the track near Shelby. A 6-year-old playing with matches may have been responsible for a North Charlotte apartment fire. Another 6-year-old was struck and killed by a hit-and-run driver in Johnson County. Authorities are holding a man in Charleston who claims he tried to hijack a National Airlines jet as a joke.